I've been on the lookout for this meal for about 3 or 4 months. I got wind at the end of last year that PF Chang's was dropping like a fried chicken menu. I guess it was a limited rollout because it finally got to the PF Chang's near me. So they have two different types. They have a wet Korean type, and then they have a dry rub, and they also dropped a new popcorn chicken. Admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of PF Chang's, but I try to give everything the benefit of the doubt. Of course, this is a to-go order, so I did bring it back to life in the air fryer with my chicken pieces. They forgot my white rice, so this green beans is actually a side that I order, so this does not come with the meal, just so you know. They didn't give me my white rice, but I already got it refunded. These things always happen with to-go orders for whatever reason, but I'm excited to try this. I hope this is good because it is relatively expensive. PF Chang's is a higher-end chain restaurant. You get 3 pieces of chicken, an order of white rice, and choice of 2 sauces, and it comes out to $22 and change. If you get the boneless version, it is $20 and change. That is very expensive chicken. So if it's not even better than a KFC or a Popeyes, we're going to have problems. But I am going to be as non-biased as possible. We're going to grade it on how I think it tastes, but drop a thumbs up, like, subscribe. You guys already know the vibes, and let's get into this video. So this is the dry rub version of it, and it says it is a 5-spice dry rub. You get 3 pieces in an order, and what it looks like is you get a thigh, a breast, and a drumstick. The texture on this, pretty crispy, which is a good sign. We don't know what it tastes like, but the smell does have a very Chinese food 5-spice kind of vibe to it. So there you go. This is our first piece of fried chicken. I am more of a thigh person, but this looks the most seasoned. So this is the dry rub version. I hope this is good. I just bit right into a bone, so I apologize for that. Picking food out of my mouth. I don't dislike it, but there's no way they should charge you this much for this chicken. I understand I'm at PF Chang's. The price is what the price is. But if I'm being real, what they're calling their dry rub, this tastes just like every variety of Chinese food that you would get from a takeout place. When I order like a half a chicken, you would get this type of breast meat on it. I will give them this, though. This is a very juicy breast. It seems like they did brine it because I'm not a breast person when it comes to fried chicken. I usually like dark meat, and this isn't dry for breast. But it is all white meat. They did a nice job frying this up. It's just not worth $22. Kind of how PF Chang's is for me. There's nothing about this that I would tell you, oh, you have to get this over just going to your favorite Chinese food spot. But they do have their sauce flight that comes with everything. So we'll make the rounds on each one. So let's run through all the sauces. I'm going to break off a piece of this. And this is their sweet soy glaze. That's a pretty decent sauce. That can't be sweet soy glaze. I don't know what the hell I'm eating. They didn't label anything. If that's supposed to be sweet soy glaze, it's spicy. So let's try them all, and then maybe I'll come back to that one. Pretty sure this is their dynamite sauce, which looks like a spicy mayo. Look, the skin, that tastes just like Chinese food chicken, like takeout Chinese. There we go. Yeah, I remember that one. This just tastes like a spicy mayo. It's decent, again, but for what you're paying for it, hell no. This is the sweet soy glaze. That must be the chili one. Here we go. Sweet soy glaze. What that tastes like to me, because they put glaze on it, which makes you think it would be more of a different consistency. That just tastes like dumpling dipping sauce to me. And then this one, yeah, that's the chili. I'm actually going to get the drummy for this one. See what we got with the drummy. That is going to give me indigestion like you wouldn't believe. I don't dislike it. I'm just mad that I paid $22 for it. It's fried well. So for me being nice, even though I am an admitted P.F. Chang's hater, they sell most of their sauces in grocery stores. You could just buy fried chicken from a Chinese food spot and you'll get the exact same flavor when it comes to this one. I will give them that they fried it well and it's relatively juicy. But my biggest complaint with P.F. Chang's to begin with is that I always feel like I could get this from somewhere else. It just feels like Panda Express with fancy plates. That's just my opinion. But let's try some of these chili garlic green beans, which is supposed to be an appetizer. Those I like. I'm a sucker for sauteed green beans. I eat them all the time off camera when I'm just doing my meal prep. I don't really get to use oil, so this is like even better than normal, but a ton of onions and garlic in there. And the spice from that, it's very simple, but you give me that, some white rice, and this chicken, and I would think I have a pretty good meal. If it was about $10 less. Next up, we have the Korean, which is supposed to be like a spicy and sweet soy glaze. But same idea, it's drum, breast, and a thigh. So let's try the Korean version. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to try a different piece of chicken. That thigh is really weird. The breading has just a weird something underneath here, which almost feels like when you buy Tyson's chicken, you know that layer of like that grimy fat it's on there. And it wasn't on this version. So I'm going to try the breast this time. I don't know how I feel about this. For whatever reason, that thigh had a weird texture to it. And I'm usually a thigh person, and it turned me off immediately. It's not on here. I don't know what they're going for when they say Korean. I don't know if they're going for gochujang, because there's a little bit of spice to this. There's just not much else to it. As an avid eater, if you've been on this channel of Korean fried chicken spots, I don't know what sauce they're trying to emulate here. Like, it almost tastes like BBQ chicken secret spicy if you turn down the spice, which would just leave you with a mild gochujang flavor. But the flavor on this, I've never had bland Korean fried chicken. They've surprised me with that because I didn't think that was possible. But let's make our way through these sauce flights again. So we have our dynamite sauce. I really don't care for that. This one's better, and it's no better than Chinese food chicken. I almost feel like I'm wasting my time just going through these. But that's why we're here. You never know. Chili, this time much less. I've eaten day-old banchan better than that. I think it's just because the name. I hear Korean fried chicken. Korean fried chicken is amazing. And this is not. If you're going to get any of these, I would say to get the dry rub. But I'm not talking about the texture or the cook on it, which is respectable. It's the flavor. And it's sorely lacking in any depth or layers that you would get in any Korean fried chicken sauce I've ever gotten. And that goes for any franchise or mom and pop I've gone to. So BBQ chicken banchan is even better than that. Now, you get pretty big pieces of chicken. That's the only compliment that I can give other than that. As far as the sauce flights go, I don't really think any of these will go well with this in particular. That's the sweet soy glaze, which is really dumpling sauce. So I couldn't recommend this. There are plenty of people who like P.F. Chang's more than me. I don't dislike the entire menu. But if you want Korean fried chicken, P.F. Chang's is a horrible idea in the first place. But again, you never know, and that's just not great. I will say this, though. These green beans, man. This is their appetizer of their popcorn chicken. So it's their boneless chicken thighs, and it's served with their signature sauce flight, which consists of chili crisp, dynamite sauce, hot honey, and a sweet soy glaze. You can get this also in dynamite, but that's the same thing as their dynamite shrimps. So I chose the Taiwanese dry rub. I know in Chinese food, they do have like Taiwanese style street food, which is this same sort of popcorn chicken. I did a video on it a while back. So I have actually had Taiwanese street food fried chicken like this. So they're little pieces of popcorn chicken thighs, which are usually very good. The sauce flight that you're seeing is the exact same sauce flight, so I'm not going to bother to open up any new of them. But the whole point of this is supposed to be, when you're talking Taiwanese dry rub, is 5 spice and a salt and pepper type of chicken. Normally, there are peppers and onions in the fry as well. If you ever had salt and pepper chicken from Chinese food places, I don't see that here, but start off. I don't know what people are going to think. I'm the biggest P.F. Chang's hater. They have some good stuff on the menu. Nothing here would I ever go back to P.F. Chang's for, though. Is this supposed to be the hot honey? It is. So that is the hot honey. They added chili flakes to it. This does have a salt and peppery vibe to it, like you would get in that Taiwanese street food. And it is crispy. This is probably the closest thing. It's not quite the same, but the closest thing to whatever they were trying to emulate, except for the sauces, which are not what you would get there. But it does have a salt and peppery taste. But for whatever reason, I'm not getting the 5 spice in this, and it should be in there as well as here. Very confusing day at P.F. Chang's. At the end of the day, it's just fried chicken thigh bits. If you get them there and they're fresh, I know some people get upset about, taking food home. Again, I take everything home, so it's not a big deal to me. You dip these like, they're edible. I say this every time I eat there, though. I just feel like you can get similar quality food at literally any place that serves Chinese food. And that includes, like, mall food court. This just seems to me like Panda Express and fancy plates. So, this is decent. I really don't like the Korean version. And this, most of you live near a mom and pop Chinese food place. Save yourself about $15 and just order that. Because this is just a complete ripoff for what you're getting. If you're going to charge people like $23, $25, which that category is your Yard House, your Cheesecake Factory, your Grand Lux Cafe, to me, the food has to be a step below restaurant quality. When I say restaurant quality, I'm talking about a sit-down, nice restaurant. It should be a step under that. I'm not expecting to go in there and get Michelin-rated chefs, but a lot of you don't realize this, but those types of places employ chefs. Like actual, I went to culinary school, I tweak the menu types of chefs. They have specials they do every single month, and then they have a base menu. I found out a lot when I went to Yard House, but this is probably the coolest thing that I got. I just wouldn't pay the $18 that it costs. Like, that's insane for this. Overall, this is something that I wanted to try. The Korean thing is just, it really disappointed me. This is kind of what I expected. It's decent fried chicken. But they did try to capture that Chinese food, and they did. They did a good job. It's just, you can get this anywhere. I know some of you clicked on this video knowing that you love P.F. Chang's. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. I tried to give the flavor profile so that you walk in there what to expect. If you like going to P.F. Chang's with the family and you want to try some Chinese food, fried chicken, I still highly suggest that you try it out. I'm just giving you what you're dealing with. I would suggest trying this and splitting it with the family. This just doesn't feel very much like a dinner that I would want from there. I still think that the best things from P.F. Chang's are things that like you get like the lettuce wraps. I used to just eat those, but I used to ask for spring roll wrappers. You can do that, by the way. And I do highly suggest you trying these green beans if you're one of those people that like sauteed vegetables, because they are delicious. But other than that, do I feel like I lit my money on fire a little bit? Yeah, because this cost me like $100. But I waste my money so you don't have to. If you're going to get any of them, get the dry rub. If you want Korean fried chicken, go to a Korean fried chicken place. You'll save yourself some money and a headache. I can only give you my opinion on it. If you tried it and like it, please let me know why you did as compared to any other place that serves fried chicken. And before I get out of here, I want to know if there are any baseball fans out there. It's been opening week for baseball. And so the Yankees today put up 20 runs and they set a franchise record, I believe, but I think they hit 9 home runs today. And there's this whole thing, I haven't gotten to look at it, about the Yankees have these new bats where there's more wood towards the end of the label or something. The bat shape looks weird, and people are saying it's because of the bats. Baseball is the weirdest sport out of any of my favorite sports because it's the only sport I know where like getting a competitive advantage is like usually borderline, if not extreme cheating, where I can remember there was some things that was like sign stealing, for example, is something that's gone on in baseball for a long time. The guy on second base, he'd look at the catcher, putting fingers down, and he'd relay it to the pitcher somehow, or the batter somehow, by touching his helmet or whatever. So they got rid of that by having there's now a thing like a communication device that they use. But then there was more egregious ways of sign stealing, like the Astros, who were banging on a trash can because they were watching a live video feed. And this just seems like another thing. I remember as a kid, Albert Bell, which was like one of the best hitters in the 90s, he had a corked bat that he got caught using. And, there's the whole pine tar thing. And baseball's always looking for an edge. So some people are saying the Yankees are cheating because they're using these bats. Apparently, they've been using them all spring training and into the season. So I would think that the league cleared them. But let me know what you think about these bats. If you've heard about it or anything, do you think it's cheating? Do you think they'll keep it? Do you think they'll get rid of it? I haven't gotten to look at it, so I can't really go in depth about it. But I got some basic looks or conversations about it. And I don't know. Baseball's one of the sports, man. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Like, they just cheat. Cheating is a part of baseball. It always has been. More than any other sport. Cheating. Anyway, that's going to be the end of the video. P.F. Chang's is perpetually disappointing, but, that's why we do these things. We'll be back tomorrow. More content. Men of hand signs. They made it to YouTube.